important in this game. And this is where I think Warlock as a hero is really weak at. He does not join these rotations to the mid lane very well, as his spells are kind of mediocre for doing so. So I think the laning stage being static and both mid laners not really wanting to move really does favor this Warlock a little bit to play this long extended kind of like laning stage, as long as the TA plus the Zeus aren't threatened by getting ganked, which I don't think either of them really are easy to gank. You have the Heavenly Jump and you have the traps on the TA. Makes it very difficult to just get in there and deal with them.
Okay. We are underway. Let's see who's going to be able to come out on top here. Second elimination series of the night. A little bit of ex-teammates going at it as well. Of course, Stinger previously playing with Sacred, playing with Dark Margot as well on that Beast Coast roster the previous year. So we'll see how he's going to be able to do. If he was right, they were wrong.
Oh, one of those, huh?
No. Sorry, I'm sure this will good. So what are we saying, Kataro or M&Z? Because I know he used to go by M&Z and then he changed it to Kataro.
What's he rocking right now?
He's rocking M&Z, so
yeah, he was like Kataro, Hayama, then it was Minos, now it's M&Z. Who's M&Z?
AP, take a little bit of damage. Able to get the bounty. Looks like it's going to be a 2 for 2. We are underway. So again, I know there was a lot for us to touch on, and we can do it now once the mid lane connects. Margot 5 games in a row. This guy is on the Zeus. 5 games in a row. So 4 out of 4 of them have been victories, and we'll see how he's going to be able to perform. This should be a very, very free lane for Stoikov. I don't think Margot's not going to be able to farm freely as well. So
see. Yeah, I mean, this in general is a TA favorite matchup, but it's not something that I think you can really bully with the Zeus anymore. Unless you can manage, I think what's really big is if a support can take away these 2 and 4 minute water runes. That could have like huge consequences on this matchup. We'll see if the supports do want to make those rotations, or if they have to just stay in their lanes.
Bottom lane, we are getting those lane, well, I guess creep pulling shenanigans that are going on. So Matthews and along with Sacred, not looking to try and play the natural 2v2 into the Troll Warlord along with the Undying.
Yeah, this is just like classic playing versus Undying gameplay, right? This hero is so strong at laning that most players, they don't want to bother, because it's just incredibly risky to even try to lane against this hero in most cases. Going for the stable play, just drag the waves. The downside of doing this, though, does default that your carry is going to free farm. Or the enemy carry, that is.
We got some interesting new heroes, though. Like, again, you were mentioning that we're getting some of these heroes over in different regions, but, like, I've not seen Warlock or Undying, so I'm taking a look at some of their facets and innate abilities as Stinger. And what's going on here? Matthew and Sacred trying to bully Stinger. He's really in a lot of danger here. Maybe looking for a deny over to the Ancients, but they're going to try and hold their spells. Void ready to go, and Sacred snipes it before the deny. So, I mean, that's huge. You get a free experience for Sacred and Matthew. A big kill onto the Undying top lane. We will see a return. Leviatan as well is going to lose one, so Zephyr's going to go down, and something you were mentioning is the Dark Willow has a little bit of difficulty playing into the Warlock.
Yeah, I mean, I think they tried to make this play, and the Dark Willow was only level 1, right? Didn't even have the Shadow Realm available, and you're playing into this Upheaval Fatal Bonds. They tried to all-in Pakaz, but maybe this time they can get him if they can get the connection. They'll get the return kill at least. Just respawned, ran up there, threw a barrel at him, landed the brambles, and toast. Pakaz just didn't have any mana to work with at that point, so good punish there. And yeah, that kill on the Undying, it's actually quite big there. That is, you're playing versus a Troll Undying lane, and you're already feeling pretty okay if you're Sacred with how this lane is shaping up. Even more wave dragging is happening on bottom lane for Matthew to continuously do this. All playing.
Another go because
Tiger's cooking. He's cooking.
Yeah, he just let him go. And stop the upheaval. So I mean, he takes a lot of damage because of that, though.
And that's kind of the thing about the lane. You don't you just keep shoving it in. All of Warlock's spells shove the lane super hard, which is making KP incredibly happy about this laning stage. And this is definitely the weak point of this Warlock hero. Your laning stage is ridiculous. But yeah, let's talk about Warlock's facet. He has the Black Grimoire. It grants you pretty much a book, kind of like the Gree in a little way, where it starts on a 420-second cooldown. But I think at like around 7 minutes in the game, you can pop it, and you'll just be level 6 if you want to. But you can hold on to it for as long as you want for a bigger effect. But a lot of the time, actually, I won't say a lot of the time, because I haven't seen this hero too much, but I would say you pop it kind of right away for that early level 6 and get an advantage. But the cause in the top lane, you don't want to walk into that nasty stuff.
Can you speak a little bit more about the... sorry, I was going to say the Warlock into the Willow matchup. Just elaborate on why that's bottom lane. Tombstone actually lay it down. It looks like this time they're going to be able to get a fair fight inside the lane. So M&Z and Stinger utilize these strong laning heroes. Action will continue. Bakaz getting run down. Back to the tower. He's fine.
Bakaz is not having fun in this lane whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, just the interaction is you want to use your Shadow Realm to go in and out of the fights, right? But if you're on top of an upheaval, or if you have... I have no time to talk about it. Tiger's getting gone on
What
again.
is this? Argo is actually top lane already pre-level 6. And
up here.
Yeah, this is crazy. Margot along with Matthew looking to rotate top to try and shut down KP. They are not happy with the current status of this lane.
Yeah, that is definitely not good for Boom, that they have to bring that many heroes up. And now Stoikov in the middle lane, he's just going to push it. You have left the lane. Now there's a catapult. Now there's a TA in your mid lane. This TA is absolutely free farming in this game. And with what I'm really surprised about is what happened bot lane in this game. Did Minos die? No, he didn't. I guess the first blood was enough, but like Sacred somehow playing versus a troll and dying is the highest net worth hero in this game.
Damn. Well, I mean, he got first blood, which definitely helps. I mean, that's a big boost to gold. But Matthew did a really good job to pull a lot of the waves by the looks of it. Let's see how the daytime goes for Sacred, though. That could be... maybe this is going to swing back into Radiant's favor, where Sacred's going to struggle a little bit more.
We'll have to see. Because right now the supports, they're just going mid, so he kind of just has a one-on-one.
I guess we got to wait for that. We'll see 6 minutes, any contest. Beat Illusion Rune down bottom. Yeah, so the Warlock and Dark Willow matchup, the lane matchup, why is it a bit difficult for the Willow?
I mean, it's just pretty much the fact that you can't play into upheaval, and if you ever get fatal bonded, it doesn't really protect you from anything. It's pretty much it. Willow does not like playing versus effects that are just on the ground. He wants to play for some single target burst. That way he can use his Shadow Realm to get in and out of the fights. Warlock is the master of just throwing random shit on the ground to make you annoyed.
Doesn't need to do a lot of that here from Mr. Tiger. So you see, he's kind of... doesn't really know where to go at the moment from Tiger. Maybe going to make some stacks inside the jungle, but he's just sticking around above this tier 1 tower for quite some time. You're confused.
Yeah,
we'll make a stack. We're going to have the wisdoms.
It's only level 3 right now, so they're going to get a wisdom rune. And we'll see. He can eat his grimoire right now if he wants to. And get his level 6. But I think you just hold on to this until you really want to use that ultimate. Or if you be super greedy and save it for like, I don't know. How long can you save it for? Do you think is reasonable? I think in a game like this, if he doesn't use it, he's going to be super low level. This facet's kind of cool because Warlock is notorious, right, for just walking around the map being low level. Yeah. Because he doesn't do anything in the lane. He usually loses his lane like so. And then after that, he can't really gank either. So he just kind of aimlessly walks around like, hey guys, can I please have a lane? And they're like, no, I don't think so. I still need to farm. And he's going to just dodge a gank. Not a super scary gank by any means. But I think their main objective is tower. Yeah.
He can walk around the map faster. Yeah, he can move faster. He's going to get from the mid... Dude, I don't know, 2 minutes he's just been in the jungle. Like, I'm just watching Warlock. He's now going to try and soak some experience, but this is a full wave. You got the Undying here. If you pop your head out, like, they might just tombstone and run at you. And as soon as they see upheaval KP, yeah, he's just going to run a wall. So, I mean, he's going to get all the experience. He's going to get all the gold. Try and TP out. KP actually pops the ultimate and, okay, we'll get the stun just before the TP. Maybe with the ulti, he's going to be able to do some damage into the tower as well, but it's still going to take a while for him to get out of the map now with the teleport on cooldown. Mid lane, wraparound from Zephyr. We're going to try and target down Dark Margo with a double damage rune on Stoikov if they got the ability to close the distance. Looks like they do. Dark Margo will go down under the T2 tower. Now this tier 1 tower as well is going to be under assault.
Their tier 1 mid and top are both going to die at the same time about here. Not good. Right now, Leviatan is definitely just taking a stranglehold of this early game. And I did mention as well that I'm a little worried about this Medusa if you don't have a good lane and you're not ahead in this game. And right now, this Medusa doesn't really have much of a lane. Sure, you're level 7 now, it's okay, but like your net worth is not good. And we have not seen yet Dark Mago on this Zeus struggle this hard outside of the laning stage. And they want to use the Zeus ult pretty badly, but
yeah,
how do you use it? Yeah, I guess you have to go smoke and try to make something happen here.
TA is farming pretty aggressive into the jungle. You've got ways to be able to burn the refraction. They might be forced to go for Zephyr, but even this, you're going to have Matthew wrap all the way behind. They're going to be able to connect with their spells. Probably no heavy ultimates will need to be used. There's some nice, valuable experience for Matthew along with Tiger. Tiger's still yet to use the Black Grimoire, but Matthew getting close to his sharpshooter.
Yeah, he's just chilling. Every stack that he gets is 250 experience. Really got to keep an eye on when he wants to use that. All right, speaking of the other hero we haven't seen a lot, his facet is going to be the one where your flesh golem, when you hit people, it spawns a zombie. But his innate ability is super funny. It's like whenever Undying dies, he will instantly respawn in the fountain. It begins the game on cooldown. So if he ever dies, like in this bottom team fight, right, he'll instantly go back to the fountain, and then he can just TP back to the tower, and you have to like kill him twice. It's super annoying to play against.
Yeah, wow, okay. Truly lives by his name for 480 seconds. We're going to see Sacred.
Just die, please. I want to see
run him down. Yeah, they want to force a fight. When you're going to have KP TP to the bottom lane, Primal Split's ready to go. And they can chase Tiger out. Stoikov's here. Undying's going to TP back. I mean, all right, now it's maybe a bit too much. You've got a lot of heroes. Your battle trance used. Stoikov went bottom. Or you killed the Warlock. He still hasn't eaten the Black Grimoire, so had the ultimate even before that in the river. Zephyr once again. Running around to Dark Margo. Dark Margo starting to showcase some of the damage output, even without the phylactery online for the Zeus.
Yeah, that's
Sacred. Hang on, Stinger. You can't respawn again, my friend. This is still on cooldown. Okay. Sacred now in trouble?
A bait? Is he a genius?
It's a bait. Looks like he might be. Bushwhack from Matthew. Gives him a little bit of breathing room to cover the retreat, and Sacred zooming away now.
And TA,
it's a big stack.
With the Blink Dagger, might flirt with the idea of taking some of these stacks in the jungle. They do have Brewmaster ult up. Maybe Dark Mago is the call first if they can manage to get the barrel on him. He is slow, not slow enough. It's brawl time. Both these teams, they just want to fight.
This stack needs to be a big objective for Boom. Kasum, Leviathan are ready to go in the river. Nice quick and easy kill onto Stinger. 5 heroes from Boom. Yeah, they recognize. I mean, you have to take the stack now. Radiant, they have the ability to contest this and take a fight with Tombstone split around a choke point like this. They would be really happy for an engagement. So Boom, they're going to make sure they don't give them that opportunity. They'll bring everyone here to secure it for Bakaz.
Yeah, and luckily for them, it is nighttime still, so able to get that quick pick off there. And there's looks like they really want to get Sacred active. He does have the phylactery. They do see KP. Is this a dive, though? I'm not so sure you can dive this. And they decide not to. They brought 4 heroes for this. You want to get something more than that. Because in the meanwhile, everyone's farming. The TA's farming. Troll's farming. Troll going for that Gleipnir build this game. I think that is Nino's preferred build on this hero from what I've seen him play it.
Must feel pretty nice versus the Night Stalker as well, right? Like just some long range catch. I think hasn't Atos been like a pretty big issue for this hero in the past with just being able to hold him down from afar with this long range item, I suppose?
Yeah, I mean, Troll is like, you just want to be able to get up and hit people. And they're going to actually get done dying again. No instant respawn for him yet, as it is on cooldown. 480-second cooldown. That is longest cooldown in Dota, I think. Like anything's longer than that.
No, definitely not. Yeah, definitely.
See if it comes into play, and I'm doing my every couple minutes checking to see if this Grimoire is being used. We're up to 4 charges now.
It's even a little bit longer than buyback status, so yeah, if you include that, yeah, it's longest in the game. Game is, it's kind of stabilizing off that stack. I mean, lead at the most, I think, was about 2,500 for Leviatan. You have seen they've done a really good job here from Boom, potentially even looking for another kill. I don't know if you ever get KP though, especially if he activates the Void Brawler. They're gonna try though. They'll clip it before he activates it. Now with the Silence of the Thunder Gods, maybe the damage is actually enough. KP will go down. That is a gigantic pickup for Boom. We got to keep in mind KP. He had a free lane up top and was on his way to a pretty good Radiance timing. And you were wanting to slow down Sacred's Night Stalker. You pick Troll, you pick Undying, but this man is 3-0-3 and 4th in net worth. You're going to have a really farmed Night Stalker this game.
Yeah, I mean, the Night Stalker is definitely a big issue right now. They failed at dealing with it in the laning stage when, in all technicality, they should have done better. But a couple of mistakes, you know, Singer accidentally giving up First Blood next to the Ancients there, so on and so forth, that can just cause laning stage to not be so good. And that's exactly what Boom needed. Like, if you imagine if you had a rough lane, for example, on Sacred this game, how different this game would look. It's like your mid lane didn't go well, your top lane didn't go well, your bot lane didn't go well. I guess it's GG, but because Sacred had a good game, he has single-handedly kept his team clinging on to this game with the rotations he's been making.
We'll see it play out Leviathan. So game's kind of slowed down for them. They haven't been too proactive recently, but MNZ and Zephyr are going to combine together. We've got that Gleipnir online. Stoikov as well. Be able to get involved here. Shard already picked up for the Templar Assassin. The extra value that's going to come out from the traps. Tiger might be the target. A pretty good cliff fort that's going to scout them out. But the Gleipnir will catch him from afar. Boom. Do they want to take the fight down Warlock already? Looks like they will not. So they're going to have to give up their triangle. This could give an opportunity for the supports to try and de-ward and get some vision down as well for a further fire.
Yep. As soon as they got this Gleipnir, they made the call. No more farming defensively. Let's start farming more aggressively in the enemy's face. That'll allow us to have more chances, more opportunities to be able to kill enemy heroes. And Minos is like online now. Ideally, he wants a BKB on top of this, but with this one item, he's strong enough to just keep pushing forward. And now you have the choices you have to make in this game, because if you allow Minos to just stay on your side of the map, that means Medusa can't farm here anymore. So either Medusa has to go like the enemy triangle, or you're gonna have to mount some type of defense here. And it looks like they're trying to mount a defense at the moment with the smoke. Matthew did break.
Oh,
but
broken the low ground with the trap, so they actually scout out Matthew. It's a great pushback onto 2 with the rock as well. It's perfect. Oh, they just run clumped up together, and now they're all gonna die. What a fight for Boom, even though they knew the smoke was going on. Leviathan, they wanted to take the engagement, but they clump up for the combo, and Boom will punish them for that mistake.
yeah, look at the difference in warding here. I mean, Tiger just removed one ward that was on the low ground, but there's a high ground ward that was just placed by Tiger there. He gets off that rock immediately with Fatal Bonds, and then guess who came in right after the Night Stalker with the silence. Maybe this fight is completely different if this Troll is able to get his ult off, and more importantly, this Brewmaster was not able to get his ultimate off. So that was like one of the worst case scenarios you could have for Leviathan there, but a well-mounted defense for Boom as they desperately needed to do that. Otherwise, Troll would have ended up farming pretty much everything sitting in your
triangle. Might run Pakaz down.
And TA has no damage for him right now.
Can they force Roche with ultimates on cooldown and being daytime?
Yeah, I mean, I think you could if you want to. Mino's going to pick up the kill on Dark Mago. That Gleipnir plus the Battle Trance easily chasing him down. But I think you wait for Roche to go on Dire side, and we might get a replay of this team fight. Look at that beautiful bushwhack into the Golem, into the Fatal Bonds, and then most importantly, that Night Stalker crippling fear to silence two heroes that really don't like to be silenced, the Brewmaster and the Troll Warlord.
This smoke as well. I like this a lot. I mean, you have a ward inside the Dire's jungle. Just calculating that the only place that Bakaz is probably farming is around the top side of the map. They continue to walk to the left. Cover him enough. Those smoke pops. Stoikov, yeah, he's going to get the pings. Bakaz, they'll run into the Medusa inside the tree line. Look for the Stone Gaze TP out and okay. She'll be fine.
Unfortunately, it's just the Brew and the TA there. If Darko was there, one Bramble, one Terrorize would have probably ended up in a dead Medusa. So unfortunate that the two heroes without a stun were the ones leading the charge there on that smoking. Oh, the Grimoire has been eaten. Almost level 12 now on the
level
Warlock.
11, yeah, wow. They smoked under this ward, so no pings came out actually for Leviathan. Let's see if they were able to read this or not. They are running to M and Z. If he farms this wave, they might connect on him in time.
There's a blink on Night Stalker now too. And that's a big one. And it's mainly going to be for KP. If he can't get his split off in these fights, we've seen what has happened. Looks like they're going for a quick Tormentor at the moment, but I think the next call to action here will be the Roshan pit for the Troll Warlord, but he's probably like,
ooh.
Yeah, I mean, that was close. That's like
Very close.
The classic Zeus. You see Tormentor go down, just press R and hope for the best. This time, unfortunately, does not get anything from it, but almost did. And it would have been a big kill too, because you would have not only killed Stinger, but you would have got his Ceaseless Dirge cooldown as well. Matthew already setting up. He knows that this troll wants to do this Roshan. But what they don't know is that Minos actually just doesn't want to do it into SBKB. So he's just going to keep hitting creeps. And the moment he has a BKB, I think they will potentially attempt to do it. I wonder if you can sneak it right now if you are on the side of Boom. There is a possibility. If you see a hero go farm mid, like KP farm mid, maybe the call will be, hey guys, they're not here. Let's just go Roche. KP showing mid. What is the play going to be? Looks like Bakaz, he just wants to go for the tier 1 for now. Killing this tier 1 is also pretty big too for this Roche fight, so it will not allow Dire to easily TP back and rejoin the fight with buybacks.
Exposure as well for Bakaz now. This would be gigantic if Boom were able to steal Roche. Looks like they might be able to do so. The traps, unfortunately, not set up inside the pit from Stoikov. Littered around the area. Nothing nearby, and still with no one farming mid.
They're just going to give it because Minos has no BKB. Like, he's like, hey guys, I can't fight without BKB. And it goes back to show that one death he had top slowed him down just enough to the point where it actually is going to make them lose this Roshan. There's no way you can contest it. And this is something that you desperately wanted to have if you're Leviathan with the lead that you had right now. And Aegis on this troll with BKB Gleipnir is exactly what they're doing. They're frantically running towards it, but they're going to realize in about 2 seconds here that this Aegis, this Roche, it is gone.
Do you take a fight still into this Aegis advantage?
You can, but they're out. So even if you wanted to take the fight with the smoke, you're getting nothing from this.
And they didn't even stick around bottom to maybe steal the Tormentor or get the Wisdom Room. Matthew and Sacred are still staying around the area. Stinger's going to run into the Watcher. A couple of heroes were going through the portal. They'll cancel it now, but they won't really be able to catch up to him by the looks of it. Dark Ascension used to go down to the south. Matthew will split away to the north. Tries to juke back and forth in the tree line, and looks like they will at least be able to get the Hoodwink. He'll make him work for the kill, but with the Scurry now, all charges are on cooldown. Keeping M&T will get a consolation prize. Bottom lane, Margot. Hang on, Dark Margot. Once again, this Zeus just getting caught out of the map. We saw previously was the Troll Wall that was able to get the kill. This time it's Stoikov with two of the supports together.
Maybe he got caught off guard a little bit by this Undying who instantly respawned after dying and then TP'd bot and hit him with an Atos. I don't know. These are these heroes you don't play against a lot. So like, oh, Undying's dead. I can probably go one more wave, but the reality is you cannot.
What's happening top? Stoikov actually blinked onto Bakaz. And now Stoikov is kind of stuck. They've dealt with the refraction. Stinger's just watching idly by over the left. Leviatan is starting to run over, but it was a long way from the west side of the map to offer some assistance. So MNZ and KP, they will not be able to step in here with the Troll nor the Brewmaster. So 2 freebies for Boom. And Stoikov, that's his first death of the game as well. He was having a great game on the Templar Assassin, but finally slowed down.
Yeah, and this Deuce is getting to the stage where she's becoming a problem. It started off really slow for Bakaz here. I was a bit worried, but a couple of these moves, especially that one in the triangle early on, has really helped him get back into this game. That triangle fight and then the Roshan being given are some 2 big moves for Boom in this game. Greater Healing Lotus on Bakaz as well. That is pretty much his whole mana pool being refilled with an Aegis and a 20 stick charge. It is going to be very hard to bring down this Medusa in a 5 vs 5. I mean, both teams are kind of struggling a little bit with reading the map, as there has been a couple like needless kills. Like Dark Malgo died unnecessarily, then Stoikov also died a bit unnecessarily as well. And I think all these moves, as they do happen, they are going to favor the side of Boom just a little bit, because you have that overwhelming teamfight presence. You got Zeus, you have Warlock, you have Medusa. These are heroes that are incredibly good at taking fights into this late game here. And we still haven't seen like the effect of this Brewmaster and his ultimate. He just hasn't been able to cast it outside of like, what, that one time to get a kill in the top lane?
Yep. Yeah, been very quiet. KP's farming. He opted for the Boots of Travel, which I guess is maybe a bit more player dependent on KP. I mean, he's got the shard as well. It's always nice to go for it at some stage with the Boots of Travel, but maybe going to play for the farm game. But yeah, do you feel like they are going to be able to compete with Boom as this game goes on? Just because they don't have team fight, it's going to be a little bit more difficult?
I mean, the thing is, anything can happen in a Dota game for starters, but yeah, the late game is going to be definitely favoring Boom just because of the amount of team fight that they do have. You have Troll and TA, which are very single target heroes. And I think Troll is like not bad versus Medusa because you can lock her down and kill her, but TA in general, like you're playing with massive minus armor, and that's how you get kills. You basically just don't do any damage to this Medusa hero as a TA. So Bakaz doesn't really care about the TA too much, and I'm not so sure where this burst is going to come from. Because like Bakaz, he has a disperser available, and on top of that, he has a butterfly, amplified damage rune in his bottle. He's very scary right now. But none of these teams really want to force anything unnecessarily. They're kind of waiting for, you know, potentially another freebie before walking forward. This Aegis is also expiring in 20 seconds. So maybe just farm it up until next Roche. Maybe we get a banner, maybe we get a cheese. Both these items could be very useful to making sure that the next fight goes into your favor.
We have seen in the past, like the Brewmaster versus these multi-shot heroes is a bit of a double-edged sword. Like maybe your split is going to be killed off, but maybe you can continuously cycle in the Medusa. Maybe that's how you just avoid Bakaz. You kill everyone else inside the team fight. Somehow you get a vision advantage to get the Warlock as well on your jump. Maybe because the trap placement from Stoikov. So,
but how do you get a vision advantage against a Night Stalker?
Like Sharpshooter, they're going to be able to get the kill. Yeah, no, that's a very good question. How are you going to be able to find the vision advantage? Because also now Boom playing from ahead, and I mean they can get rid of the traps with the Zeus. They're going for an early gem. KP,
another one.
Looks like they're going to be able to get a kill into the Brewmaster as well. So it's just Cords bleeding their lives. This is at the moment the death of Leviathan. You have 3 cores now. You're having these uncharacteristic deaths across the map, and and is really, really punishing how they're able to play the map. This is T2 Tower that's going to go down. Looks like Sacred even sniped the Wisdom Rune as well. So this is starting to get a bit out of hand, even though it's just a 2,000 net worth lead.
The biggest issue I see here is the fact that a lot of your team fight relies on this Brewmaster getting his ultimate off, but he is not going to build a single item, it looks like, to help him get out of that. He doesn't have a Force Staff. He doesn't have a BKB. He's deciding to go for Shivas. I don't think he's ever going to get his ult off with the itemization that he's going. You might want to reconsider and be like, hey, guys, my ult's pretty important.
Okay.
Maybe I need to get a BKB so I don't get perma-silenced. Or perhaps he's just hoping his team just Force Staffs him, but they don't have a single Force Staff. So, like, if you go on this Brewmaster, you're going to win every single fight. Maybe KP just has to sit in the back and just ulti before he gets jumped on. Maybe bait this on dying. Maybe Zephyr has to die first. I don't know, but Zephyr, he went for a build where he wants to stay in the back too. He has an Aether Lens, no Glimmer Cape, no Force Staff. Undying, he has a lot of items, an Atos and a Solar Crest. But we saw in that last fight, those don't even help too much. Maybe the Force Staff is exactly what they need as Stinger does queue it up. Maybe this is the one item that can potentially help KP get his ultimates off in these fights.
While away though, maybe max out Decay and Philosopher's Stone you can get. They're at an okay timing, but we're probably still going to see a fight break out beforehand, and importantly it comes down to how fast Roche is going to spawn. KP's just going to KP run straight to Bakaz, and okay, Bakaz, I mean, of course, we have the bird's eye view. We know that no one's playing behind KP's Brewmaster.
He is fast though. He runs across the map very quickly. But unfortunately, with this Night Stalker, Max Void, and Max, or not Max, just Phylactery, you are very slow, even if you have high movement speed. And again, they see him. He got it off.
Okay, KP this time will get it off. And this is going to be the success for the potential. Look at the, they're almost gone. Oh my god, because his damage output. And now how are you going to take a fight without KP's Brewlings? I mean, this is finally the first time where you get it off, but you can't even use it.
It's like, hey guys, I got my ults. Go, 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 go. And it's like, where'd they go? I mean, you need to have the Brewmaster ultimate be followed up by probably a Terrorize here. Otherwise, yeah, because he has no problem just split-shotting them down, as we saw in that fight here. The next choice for Pakaz is going to be that Bloodthorn, already up to the Orchid. I'm starting to not see a way to deal with this Medusa. It seems hard. Like, yeah, maybe if you get the jump first, but there hasn't been a single point in this game where Leviatan has been able to get a jump on Boom. It's always been Sacred on his Night Stalker, always going first. And almost always going on this Brewmaster too. And at this point, it feels like it's a little too late for this Brew ult. It doesn't seem to do anything anymore. It just kind of exists and dies.
I don't know, are things really going to be that much different when KP gets level 20? I mean, that's still 2 3/4 away here for KP's Brewmaster, so...
At this pace, you're going to be 25 on, like, Dusa, and you're going to have a split shot using modifiers, and I don't think his ultimate's going to be a big factor anymore this game. What's going to be a big factor is Minos, I think, and if he can get onto this Medusa, can you bait Pakaz's Stone Gaze out? That kind of feels like the only way at this point in this game where things can potentially look okay for you. Minos, he does have his MKB, so the damage output is there against the Deuce's Butterfly. But I was talking about it before, the next pivotal part of this game will be this Aegis. Potentially go time with this, as if Pakaz wants to load up on an Aegis and a cheese.
They're going to go through the gate. Maybe that scan will bait them. They thought that someone was actually playing inside the lane, but everyone, they're set up for them to walk through the portal. Just the wrong read and kind of getting baited by the scan going red, and now M and Z. I thought Sacred was going to continue to chase him down, but they're just happy with the 2 kills.
That's just 2 freebies on top of Roshan here. I think it's gotten to the point in this game where you're starting to feel the pressure in this game if you are Leviatan. Yeah, keep farming on TA, it's fine. Keep farming on Troll, but there will be a moment where Boom comes knocking on your high ground. And you're gonna have to find a way to mount some type of defense. Damn, this Deuce is so farmed. Look at him.
Yeah. Oh my. I was a big boy. Matthew's getting chased down. Let's get the slow. So maybe they're going to be able to get a kill at least onto the Hoodwink, but 4 heroes to chase down a Skrill across the map. Try and get the Lotus.
Good attempt, good attempt. It helps. I mean, getting something always feels nice, but this game really is going to come down to, can you get the big kills? In my opinion, the big kills this game is going to be Sacred, because he does so much in this fight. Also, he has a gym, and that goes without saying. You're going to have to deal with Picasso at some point, but maybe the next 5 to 10 minutes won't be the time for Picasso, but maybe get some of these more higher priority kills. And Dark Mago, he just needs to survive and do what he can in these fights. He's kind of like he's not having his best Zeus game. Let's put it that way. So he's not super farmed right now either. Picasso says the time is now. He's gonna cut mid wave and start knocking your high ground at the same time. No Manta. I don't know if that makes a big difference, but it looks like they're gonna start trading bases here. This could be interesting.
See if anyone else on Leviathan actually want to show. Stoikov and M&Z will also try and deal with the base. They want to jump and blow up Matthew, and they will. This is, I like this read. KP's even got a pop split. Okay, if Split's useless in
cancel
fights,
2 TVs.
That is gigantic. Terrorize onto 2. They're ending. They're ending. There's no cliff. There is no cliff. No way.
They could actually, they could do it.
There is no freaking way Leviathan are about to win this game because they just canceled 2 TPs and there's no fucking cliff. They're gonna do it.
This might be over.
Exposed and they just won game 1 like that.
Are you kidding me? Oh man, the read to TP back on Zephyr here with the Aetherlands. He canceled the Night Stalker and the Medusas. And that's not how the laning stage works. You're always going to be on creeps because you need a CS, right? So most of the time, it just doesn't come into effect. But if you are getting bullied really hard and you do have to go away for a second, it's better than nothing, right? It does not fix his issues. It's not like Ursa, right? Like I feel like Ursa and Stark were in the same spot for a while, where Ursa just gets plus 12 base damage randomly, you know, by his innate ability. And now he can actually CS without using Fury swipes.
It's definitely not a bad buff. I don't know if we've seen anyone get plus 12 base damage.
I mean, that's just how the hero works. It's his innate ability. It gives him 1.5% of his health as damage, right? So that just equates to being like 11 or 12 damage at level 1. And that was just like for free. And it continues to scale throughout the game. And that's why Ursa's so popular right now. It's because he actually is a good laner now.
So with this, I don't know, is this a hard draft to read? Like, do you feel like you were favoring the boom draft in last game? And of course, you even said, you know, even though they'd lost, this was a draft victory and a strategic victory. Heading to the second game, though, do we feel like with the crazy stuff that we have from either side, that maybe one team might be a little bit favored?
And strategically, Leviathan has a draft win here. Because I think this Slark is just like way too good this game. However, you're still putting this Abaddon into the offlane, or sorry, this Dazzle into the Abaddon. So in theory, you're not going to crush that lane. There's a theory as well where the Slark is going to lose his lane. So you could potentially just lose all 3 lanes on Leviathan. No matter how good your draft is, if you lose your lanes that hard, you can get ran over. And that's my fear for Leviathan. But if the drafting stage, or sorry, the laning stage goes well, and Slark gets a lot of farm, and things don't go out of control, I really favor Leviathan's draft here.
Okay. Well, let's see. Let's see if they're going to be able to get out of the lanes. One I'm intrigued about is this mid lane. At least for a while, I thought the Storm Spirit was actually pretty good versus the Ember Spirit. I don't know how different it is now, especially with the static slide. Not that it really matters that much against the melee heroes, but of course, Ember's been changed a little bit. And I know, in fact, actually, I think we're speaking about it yesterday, and you saw Dota Pro Tracker, and you said Storm Spirit was actually had a pretty decent percentage against the Emboss. So I'm excited to see how Margot and Stoikov are going to be able to battle. And we've mentioned before, like, this is one of Dark Margot's best heroes. We've seen Zeus 5 games in a row. Now we're going to see a different one. MNZ, top lane. First Blood, Sacred and Matthew. Well, all right, Sophie, this is what are your concerns? And yeah,
I mean, the thing is, like, this is expected for me. I figured he's going to have a bad laning stage just because he's Slark, and that just comes with the territory of being a Slark. One death isn't terrible as long as he gets his farm. He just really needs to just get up to his items. If he can manage to do that, this hero is still strong. But so far, so good for Boom. Worst case scenario is, yeah, Minos dumpsters this lane somehow, and then this game would be very difficult. So Boom really needed this to happen. They needed to make sure that this lane goes well for them, and they really have to slow down this Slark hero as much as they possibly can. The other question mark for me is going to be, they pick this Abaddon into the Dazzle. Is it good? On Stinger, well, this top lane's looking a little fishy.
Was this a pun? What are you doing?
It can be whatever you want it to be.
Okay. Well, this bottom lane at the moment, even with the Aphotic Shield, because not being able to slow down KP's farm, they've done a really good job to hold the creep equilibrium at the front of the tower. So it looks like KP's having a pretty good time. And do you even know, like, what is the item build with an offlane Dazzle? Is it any different than what it was previously?
What was it previously? I don't remember.
I don't know. I think some Scepter crap with, like, Blink and...
Oh, Scepter. Yeah. Honestly, I have no idea. I think you have choices, though. It's either going to be like Scepter, you play kind of like a carry, or he goes like full Horus, right? And tries to play that type of style. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know what the meta is currently for the Dazzle.
MNC having to TP back to the tower. It is not very good when, you know, we're speaking about the equilibrium down bottom. You see that Radiant up top have got great positioning on the wave, so it's going to be quite hard for MNZ to be able to step forward.
A little interesting to see that the Dazzle went for the Facet, buffing up his Poison Touch. I figured if you're playing versus a hero like Abaddon who can just dispel it, and Pango, that might not have as much value as the other Facet. I don't remember the other. Oh, the other Facet is you can overheal or something like that, which is like kind of like more of the healing build, which does make me believe he wants to go more of a right-click type of build on Dazzle. Otherwise, the overheal with Auras sounds like it would be pretty useful, especially against all these dispels that you're playing against. I'm gonna toss
for a little bit of damage into
yeah.
Bakaz. Don't know if he cares though.
Not a lot.
Not at all by the looks of it. Bakaz short still on cooldown, but it's got some one charge and Lotus, and they will continue to poke with the damage coming through from the Poison Touch. So bottom lane they're farming. Mid's looking quite even. Stoikov slight last hit, really nothing. Dark Margot is going to be able to get a decent amount of damage in with the chains. Stoikov will be forced back to the safety of the tower, but that's some nice harassment from Dark Margot.
Yeah, definitely pretty nice there. I wonder if he will try to play aggro soonish. I mean, you still got 2 bottle charges to play with. Maybe you're just waiting it out for now. Meanwhile,
Bakaz? Yeah, they are committing here. Shield's about to be back up in a couple of seconds. That'll get rid of the Poison Touch, and Bakaz is okay. Let's see if the region's going to start to be a bit of an issue in the resources down bottom.
Well, the Warlock did go 2 points in the heal, so I think sustain-wise, should be a-okay in this laning stage. And top lane, again, Slark. Bit of trouble here.
And he is again. Sacred. This is going to be a gigantic concern considering we have seen Sacred take over games so far with his Panglirian. He's 1-0-2 and he's not going to be stopped anytime soon.
Yeah, he's having a good game, but on the flip side, you're also free farming on this Dazzle. This Dazzle even into the Abaddon. Playing around like the Shadow Weave mainly. Seems to be working pretty well. We're going to gear ourselves up to go towards that middle lane for the 6-minute runes here.
Maybe even a kill as well. All right. Wow, done. Matthew is balling out in the early game. I I mean, his impact so far, securing top, securing mid. This is a full wave going under the tower along with a catapult. So this will be a lot of damage under the tower. Margot is going to be able to get an arcane rune now on the Ember Spirit as well.
This is huge. He's waiting to grab this as he wants to get as much damage as possible while Storm is dead into that tower. Tiny is going to have to make a rotation over as well. And now that's an arcane rune. And top lane, they're probably looking to go again here. Bushwhack, it lands.
They'll get him. Pounce. Oh, this is...
Beat down.
Yeah, and you don't really have the greatest rotating hero. Like Stoikov on the Storm needs runes, and your mana pool is very limited. So you're not your primal beast, very active hero to get to these side lanes and offer some assistance. And maybe we honestly need to see Zephyr look to lead bottom, but then KP is going to be alone. I mean, Sting is just getting chased around the tower.
Came back.
Like he's going to come through back with a dive, and well, he's going to die as a result. Sacred's got level 6 if they need it. M&Z is just going to be killed off. Sacred doesn't even need to use the ultimate. What is going on? You need to do something differently. You keep smacking your head against the same wall, and it's not going down.
If they keep smacking him, their heads will go down, that's for sure, because this top lane is looking absolutely impossible to play now. Man, this is the concern I have with Slark as a hero right now. It's, you think, oh yeah, I can just right-click and trade with them, right? No big deal. But the reality is Shield Crash is just too strong.
Oh man. Oh man. Just leave the top lane. Do not come back. No one come here. It is a forbidden zone. Everywhere's forbidden. Bottom, you can't go as well apparently. Like Matthew, he secured top, he secured mid for the Ember Spirit with that kill, and then he goes bottom and kills the only hero that hasn't died so far.
I bet they wish they picked Doom now at this point instead of this Slark, because I guarantee you Tiny would have not had this issue in the top lane. Because the reality of the situation is that Phoenix is a weak laner, right? This hero is not known for its laning stage, and you paired a weak laner with a weak laner. Let's go on Picasso. Let's see if that works. He has his ultimate up and available. They're going to kite him out.
Matthew's starting to run down bottom. They're even going to TP the Ember Spirit as well. They will get the kill to Picasso, but have they gone too far for that kill though? Chains holds long enough, and yeah, Margot is going to have the damage required to be able to kill off Stoikov. So, Leviathan, they get their first kill. It's a big one onto Picasso, but your Storm Spirit, who was having somewhat of a decent game, second in net worth, unfortunately has to go down.
Score is 10-1 now. This is definitely, other than that, a 101 and not to pick Slark anymore. He's just sitting, waiting for the creeps to come to him.
Is this... Do you actually go Midas instead of Diffusal? Like, is this kind of the only way back in for M&Z?
I think he kind of has to just, like, go AFK for a while. And hopefully at some point in this game... I mean, the biggest issue that I have currently is that this Phoenix is not level 6, right? I think that's going to be really, really big timing. And I'm guessing, speaking of level 6s, well, Matthew's level 6. He just solo killed the Phoenix.
Ah, yes, very cool hero. 6-0 and 4. Just goddamn facet.
They're mad from last game. That's for sure.
Yeah, point to prove. And this is like, if you do win this game and you head into the next... Well, Margot, I guess he had no vision of them inside the river. They were ready and waiting for the jump to the Remnant, and Stoikov gets usage out of the double damage rune straight away. And well, yeah, the kills look bad. Top lane. Okay, well, this is adding another kill. And well, yeah, Slark's game continues to look bad as well. I was just going to say, you know, the kills look bad, but your Storm Spirit second in net worth. Your Daz was finding farm. It was only 2,000 gold until that kill. And I'm like, I was trying to cope. I was going to start to go on some long spiel about how, yeah, maybe Leviathan could do it, but another kill and now a tower as well up top.
How it doesn't matter that your Slark is support. I mean, that used to be a thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it has been done before. It's because you just play around the shard and you save your carry, but Unfortunately, they don't have a carry.
You can't be letting these kills go away, though. You need to start having a flawless game with the heroes that are having a good time at the moment. And Matthew and Margot, this roaming duo we are going to continue to see.
I mean, I just think the audacity that Leviatan had to pick Phoenix, right, and a Slark into a goddamn hoodwink and thinking that would be okay. Like, we've seen this hoodwink. It's been terrorizing the laning stage in every single game. And you pick some of the weakest laners in Dota against the two strongest laners in Dota, thinking this would work. So, yeah, the laning stage has just gone to shit. They need to find ways to get back into this game through making rotations. Unfortunately for them, they don't have the offlaner that really wants to do it, but he's going to try.
Oh, no, Matthew might just... Oh, well... We're going to get the Warlock over the other side, but looks like Supernova will have to be used. Stinger. Unfortunately, everyone else left him, so no one was there to protect the egg.
Bot tower's dead too, for cause. And this is the issue that I was really worried about for the side of Leviatan. I really like their draft and everything. Strategically, it's like a win. But if you can't make it work in the laning stage, you're playing versus a carry Abaddon now that is snowballing. There is high probability that this team is going to like start getting Aegises, getting items, and then start walking up your high ground. And you're not going to be able to do much about it.
Let's see if Matthew's going to continue to have more net worth than MNZ.
Keeps getting these kills, he will.
With this trajectory. Yeah, 7-0 and 5. Atos 12 minutes in on the support hoodwink.
I think Minos will definitely get more net worth than the hoodwink because he has a Midas that's going to be delivered him after this wave. Still a long road to go until this hero is going to have impact.
There's another kill for Matthew. Getting involved. Tiger's actually going to snipe it somehow with the imp.
Yep. I mean, it's the imp plus the upheaval damage per second. 60 damage per second. Not bad, honestly.
Here we go. Midas is online. See how long it's going to be able to take to catch up. If they do, and boom. They're going to continue to stalk. They know this Wisdom Rune is up shortly because it's already starting to set up to try and get the Watcher, but the rest of the team will sweep and invade into the triangle. And Leviathan, they want to try and force the issue. Supernova in 10 seconds. Margot feels so safe. Shield Room, Flame Guard. Zephyr's going to blink though. Pretty early blink. Toss back. Rock, however, is going to disrupt them. And now with the counter initiation, they've got the Atos over to the right side. The Grave will be able to protect the Storm Spirit, but you need more kills with everything committed. MNZ is actually going to come on the backstab, isolating Tiger. A pretty decent fight for Leviathan, importantly, and unfortunately, they will not get the Wisdom Room. You do get 2 kills. Sacred sounds like he's charging up the Rolling Thunder. He wants to try and jump back into the middle. Sunray up to the high ground. Stinger is unfortunately a little bit stuck here, though. Dark Margot is still going to be able to snipe him down from the low ground, and it will tick out to the damage.
I mean, he just got a wicked 7x streak on Minos there into a double kill. So if there was anything to get him back into this game, it starts with that for sure. A little bit too deep there, and I don't think they expected the Tiny to have a blink dagger at 14 minutes in the game when they're crushing. So Zephyr, yet again, being that shining light for the team when things look difficult, he finds a way to bring his team back into the game.
Matthew would be huge as well. Oh, didn't want to jump.
Found two of those.
Wasn't sure if maybe there were some other heroes playing behind. Stoikov is still going to make the attempt onto Matthew. Looks like by himself he's going to have the damage. So he will not. Now has to use his last remaining mana to zip away. But no one's going to be able to continue to play with Stinger.
I mean, Minos is kind of back. I'm not going to lie. Given the situation, like, his net worth isn't too bad. The only real issue is the fact that Pangolier's net worth is still like over 2,000 ahead of his. So that's going to be an issue for sure. But if they can manage to get a couple more kills, and there's been a little bit of a lack of discipline here and there from Boom. Like, they're getting too deep with too few heroes sometimes, and they are punishing that. And speaking of that, they're going to try and go now. And Tiger, he's by himself again.
He almost used all his mana with the zip in.
All right.
And now next to the wall, they've also been able to catch KP with the bounce back. Sacred deals with KP. No great potential for him. Stoikov, he's going to have some difficulty with escaping. Atos, they've got Division. Chain's going to come in shortly afterwards. Leviatan trying to force the issue, but Boom, we're grouped up and ready to brawl.
These are the fights that you desperately need for Leviatan. Otherwise, you're putting this train back on course for destruction here that Boom is currently showcasing as yet again. You're trying to get a D-ward, but they're obviously going to be playing on their vision here. They're playing ahead, and we noticed the moment Boom stopped diving behind tier 2s, the game looks a lot easier for them. But Zephyr, he does have this blink still. They're really just at the mercy of Boom's positioning at this point in the game. Aghanims is online for KP.
Oh, MNZ hasn't died for a little bit of time, but the scan scouts him out, trying to farm aggressively. They're going to be able to jump him inside the river as well. Boom, very nicely done, reading the farming patterns of the Slark.
He's gone. Queuing up currently to Diffusal Blade. Probably just going back on track for the typical Slark build. Diffusal Blade into Aghanims. He is pretty close to that Diffusal Blade, so you're going to need more than a Diffusal Blade this game, though.
Oh, Stinger? I don't think you're making it through the ball.
Not like this again. 0 and 9 for this Phoenix. He really just can't catch a break. You hear a roll.
Oh, they're coming. Okay. Stun into the follow-up. Looks like we'll be able to remnant over. In what because is fine.
They popped his ulti and took some essence shifts away from him. Only level 1 though.
Maybe they're feeling like they can take a fight around the observer board with that ultimate being on cooldown, and Boom not going to give them that opportunity. They'll continue to dance over to the west side, so Bison grouped up as 5 and no fight will be had.
He knows he's under vision here.
You're going to go for this D-ward?
I want to.
I can't see anything with that upheaval. MNZ? Okay, go to the right. Take the fight to the right so I can see Zephyr. Toss over. They got the control for Dark Margot. Vortex going to be there. Dark Margot, he actually goes down. The burst is there. Now Sacred tries to deal with the egg, but no one else can assist. And again, Boom, they go too far. They were well aware that Leviatan have the ward on the high ground. Zephyr's going to drop the detection with the toss back. Tiger will be killed off inside the river as well, and just not respecting Leviathan's team fight under the observer ward.
The reality of the situation is, right, you just had your Baton run away because he popped his ultimate, right? And then you wasted your upheaval, and then you still chased afterwards. Like, this is how you're going to let Leviathan into this game. In fact, this is how you're going to lose the game if you keep making plays like these. Because, like, once you use your spells, you can't keep chasing. You got to show a little bit of respect. Of course, you've been crushing this game. You feel really good, but when you are down one hero, you don't have spells, you chase into them, this is what's going to happen. And it's going to happen every single time. So if you are Boom right now, you need to start thinking, yeah, we were winning this game, but we don't want to turn this game to happen into like what happened last game, right? Where it just turns into a situation where if we look good, everything's good, but we make a couple big mistakes and now the game's over. And that definitely can happen with this Slark here. If he does get off to a good start, he will continue to get on to a good start. And I will say one thing about this hero that is kind of like nutty is in the B patch, the most recent patch, they made his ultimate 30-second cooldown instead of 40 seconds at max level. You always have Shadow Dance available, it feels like. You use it once, you use your Depth Shroud right after, and it feels like your Shadow Dance is already back off cooldown. This hero is incredibly scary in the late game.
Okay. Well, let's see if they can get him to that stage. Level 13, you just picked up a really big objective with the Tormentor, so Stinger has Aghanim Shard now. For me, what I'm seeing from Boom, though, it's another big item and an adaptation that we saw from Sacred previously when he played the Pangolier was going to the Orchid. this is something that is going to be really frustrating for MNZ unless, of course, he's able to time the Dark Pack. So not only him, I mean, the Storm Screw doesn't have a defensive item, even for the Dazzle pre-BKB. I guess KP is already working on it, but let's see. Let's see how this Orchid's going to play off for Sacred. You're about to have the Aegis. We haven't really seen fights actually happen with Bakaz being around the team with the 5v5. So
yeah,
let's see if it's going to be a different story now with Boom just walking down with 5.
At this point in the game, it definitely will be a different story.
The issue is like, if you make one mistake, then because you made those mistakes, now it's 5,000, and you're going to, you could have been doing this with like 11, 12,000 net worth lead. Then you could have had a couple of mistakes to make with this Aegis advantage. If you do not take this next fight successfully, by what you're saying, this game then gets incredibly difficult.
I mean, I dare say if Sark ever gets to the items of Aghanims plus Shard plus either BKB or Disperser, it feels almost impossible to win.
Okay.
Like, I think once he gets all those items together, he needs all of them, of course, to be able to team fight, because he needs a way to get rid of the Orchid. You can't just like perfectly time it Dark Packs, right? It's going to be like way too difficult. You either need Disperser or you need a BKB to deal with that, along with the other stuff on the ground. But yeah, when he's level 18 or level 20, I'm going to say level 20 on Sark. When he's level 20, this game gets hard for Boom. So they are somewhat on the clock to just increase their net worth more than anything. Because yeah, sure, Sark has all those items and your supports are like 5-slot, it don't really matter. So net worth is still relevant in that regard. But if the game stays like around the 5-10k, it could be hard. He knows, does he have Orchid? He does have it available.
And they're going to Rolling Thunder, so he's not going to be able to escape with like a Shadow Dance, and didn't even have TP, so we'll try and go through the portal, but yeah, that's not working. And they had to egg over to the right side as well, so this is now put on cooldown. You got to kill onto Stinger as soon as he was about to hit level 12 as well, so even if they respawn on Leviatan, you cannot take a team fight.
Yeah, these are the correct plays you need to make here on Boom. And getting Sark is like best case scenario. The more you slow down Sark, the more time you buy yourself in this game.
Could be Kari Snipe from Stoikov, who might be in some danger though. First stun early, follow up.
Oh, he got the Orchid.
It's going to be there from the Orchid on Sacred. He's actually going to try and TP out. Will he tick out inside the base? Not enough damage inside the Orchid duration.
Yeah, no Rolling Thunder. It's on cooldown there. So he will be just fine. And no additional +1 here either. So the Aegis went on to the Ember Spirit, by the way. So that means Bakaz and Ember can both sit there and hit buildings. That means they're going to go down pretty quickly.
And see if you go down to the south, they have awarded the Lotus.
Yeah, he'll know.
They're already
though.
starting to kind of part this way.
Yeah,
He knows, but he's continuing. Okay, I thought they were going to chase him.
As long as he doesn't cut the wave, like you kind of need to do something about him farming, and whether it's either you go kill him. Okay. I mean, he has no TP, and he has no Shadow Dance.
Uh-oh.
Yep,
MNZ's been not a good lane. Recovered. You know, past 7-ish minutes have been good. Then back-to-back deaths is slowing down his farm mid lane as well. The supports looks like they're probably going to be killed off. Matthew's able to get the connection onto Zephyr. Another TP in. Zephyr actually is able to find a blink away somehow, so no extra damage is going to be applied. They will get a tower, importantly, for Leviatan.
And Boom has turned the focus back on here. This is what they should have been doing from the start. Just playing the map, looking for these heroes that are just trying to farm on the sides. Things. They just feel a lot more comfortable when they have this Aegis in their hands. Because you know for a fact when you have this Aegis that your opponent is not going to want to fight you. And that also just removes a lot of opportunity. Like before, we'd see Mago maybe die to some tiny rotation and Storm. Now he feels confident that's not going to happen. Ever since that Aegis has been acquired, they feel much more confident in going to these side lanes and looking for kills. But with the Aegis going down here in about 39 seconds, it'll leave you some opportunities to maybe go smoke out and look for someone that's farming on these side lanes.
Zephyr? Like Matthew's gonna reveal the Gleipnir. More Stoikov is just idly off to the left side, wanting to try and hide and get as little farm as he can. Matthew see him?
No.
Very close.
Thought about it. Did you know Slark is like 1 buff away from being the best hero in Dota?
Is he?
Gonna call it now, yeah. Like he's literally just 1 buff like that helps his laning stage. And if they ever give him a buff to his laning stage and they don't touch his other abilities, this hero's just gonna like, and it's gonna be soon. I'm sure they're gonna buff him because he's not doing well. And he's just gonna be like the best hero in Dota because his toolkit is so damn good in almost every game. His only weakness is just his laning.
Buzz is stalking Stoikov. They're starting to TP down to the outpost. They've got to water the rift that will see these rotations pretty shortly. The MND is already going to TP up, which is a long TP. No one's going to see him in the tree lane. If you were to buff the laning stage of the Slark, what would it be?
I mean, it definitely has to be something about like either his armor or his attack speed or his health regen, some metric like that. If you buff those, then all of a sudden he can like actually lane. And then the rest of his abilities, like I said, this Shadow Dance, I didn't really realize until I played it myself. Like it was 45 seconds last patch. Now it's 30. It's like 15 seconds less cooldown than what it used to be. It's like always up. And all his other spells are just like incredibly nice too. It's just like, you just can't get there. But if you do get there, you're a beast. And then obviously he's 2-8 this game, but I still weirdly have some faith that if he does manage to get up to his items, and he decided, all right, Aghanim Shard queued up and he wants Disperser. Those are the 2 big items for him that'll allow him to actually join fights. And I think he needs level 18 too, maybe level 20 talent, something like that. And he's getting there slowly but surely. He could be like 1 and 2 and 10 for all I care. If he gets to those items, he's gonna be a monster to deal with.
Tiger and Matthew having a bit of a difficult time to kill Stinger. It looks like Tiger is actually charging up the rock. So let's see what's going to happen. Is Stinger... I don't know if that Fire Spirit connected on Matthew. So maybe if he does egg that, maybe Matthew and Tiger might be able to kill it. I don't know. How many attacks is it? 8 attacks. What the attack speed? I don't know. We'll find out. Let's see.
I mean, if he manages to hit that... or throw the Fire Spirit. He has 2 more, right? If he throws one and hits both of them, there's no way they kill the egg. All right, let's find out.
Can he get it before the rock hits, or... See?
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, that pause could have messed him up too. I definitely know for a fact, like when I'm CSing and you pause, there's like a microsecond after the pause where you just can't input anything.
Yeah. And is he wanting to stick around for the Wisdom Room? Nice read, though. Sees the Emperor jump over the top and it's not going to give him an opportunity. Tiger will scout them out of the Lotus, but of course no one else is really here. So, MNT is farming. KP is also like 3rd in net worth. Like we're speaking a lot about everyone else. KP is getting a lot of farm, and I don't know
because he does really nothing. I don't know.
He's out as well.
It's just like a Dazzle farm. It's kind of like whatever, He just right clicks a little more. He's a bit more tanky. Maybe I'm undervaluing this hero, but to me, it's just it's a whatever. Maybe it does matter. Maybe it does.
It's probably just going to be a big question of like, can you get on KP? Because this is someone who can spellcast a lot. Obviously, he's going Aether Lens, Ogre Seal Totem, a lot of repositioning from him. I've seen in the past, I think like the Dazzles that come to mind for me was like Kiyotaka when 9 Pandas were having their run, and he was playing Dazzle mid sometimes, and that hero just looked incredibly busted at that stage. And I don't know if it's similar if you get items. I do not have a good read on Dazzle, so let's see. This is nice actually. I don't know if we've spoken about it. The Poison Touch to deal with the Abaddon illusions.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about Dazzle either, but I know just enough. And what I do know is I think the biggest impact he's going to have is staying alive and potentially graving Slark. And Storm, right?
Black Margot? Remember the top to there? So they want to try and feel like they can take a fight with Sacred already charging up the Rolling Thunder. Stoikov's going to activate the PKP. They want to turn to the egg though. Looks like they'll be able to bring it down without anyone protecting it. And now they're also still in some danger. Leviatan, KP, he's protecting himself, but Stormzero doesn't have the availability. MNZ is going to try and do whatever he can on the Slark. He's creating some chaos, but it's a fight that's not looking like it's going to go well for Leviatan. And now they've got the Slark caught outside of the base. The Grave will be there, but it's not going to matter in the end. Or will it pounce down? MNZ trying to juke and drive, but he hasn't bought the shard yet. So without the extra depth shroud capability to keep him alive, he's going to be killed off. KP stuck around for a little bit too long. They're going to buy back on Zephyr, but that will do nothing. He's probably just going to die again. Now KP will be forced to buy back, but what are you going to be able to do? They toss one, but unfortunately, it's just an illusion, not the hero they were hoping for. So a horrific fight and multiple buybacks, and you're still going to lose your base.
This Pangolier hero right now is something else, man. Like this shield crash. Maybe they'll go for one more. Zephyr thinking about it, but decides nah. And yeah, I don't know. Like they kind of like committed there. And Pangolier, the barrier per hero hit with the talent is 300, and I'm pretty sure he hit 4 heroes with that shield crash. And they tried to burst the Pango after doing that with everything, and they took away the shield. That was it. It was pretty much like all they could really do for the damage there, because this Pango was just way too tanky for you to do anything. And I don't know, that fight felt really forced there. Minos, as you mentioned, didn't have the shard that potentially could have been a deal breaker for that team fight. If he's able to get a shard there, kind of help a Storm out survive, also allow himself to be in there. Going for the BKB next here. The Disperser was the luxury item, but the BKB at this point, you've got too much stuff to deal with it. It's something you have to go for. And the damage is stacking up against Leviathan now. Sure, your draft might be okay. You might have good heroes to deal with them if you have even net worth. But this game isn't even at all. We got a 14,000 net worth advantage here from Boom. It seems like they're going to go for one more Roshan, a banner. And banner, that's the item that helps you go to the high ground. Sure, the cheese might be good for like the team fights, but if you just drop a banner down and Abaddon hits your buildings, it might be very difficult to try and defend the barracks this year, as this bottom barracks is exposed and at like 15% health or something. It is incredibly low.
I've seen Leviathan have done a good job to stall the game out, but they are going to take the fight inside your base and see if they're going to have the tools to be able to defend this. What can they do against the Aegis advantage if the Kaz comes charging up? This barracks will go down. You might lose Zephyr as well, who bought back prior. Keep in mind, you really need every hero you can have.
And the banner has been placed.
Stinger? Stinger? Dude, these imps hurt. Holy.
Yeah. They're definitely quite annoying. Funny enough,
come back, MNZ.
They actually nerfed them in the A patch. We didn't see any Warlock, but this hero has actually been nerfed since the release.
Enough go for the BKB. MNZ's going to TP back. They'll lose the barracks. Can they get them on the retreat? Zephyr's going to be able to toss back Picard. Picard has got the Aegis and Sacred. What a timing of the Rolling Thunder! There's no Phoenix Egg. He's going to try and buy back and get into the middle. Is this a bit too deep of a dive? They need to respect Leviathan. Meanwhile, the backline, Stoikov does assassinate the Hoodwink, has enough mana to be able to escape as well. Phoenix, though, I mean, Supernova, they're actually going to respect it. Boom, they're out. They will not continue to try and take the team fight, even though Picard has the Aegis. They are coming, though. Zephyr tries to get the toss onto Dark Margaret, but the BKB is going to protect him. Can you continue to take the fight? Because Zephyr, he's going to go down. The Grave from KP protects him for the moment. MNZ into the middle. Hex onto the Ember Spirit if they got the damage. So MNZ is trying to do it with himself under the cover of the BKB. Dark Margot still alive. And now MNZ, he committed too far. Used everything to try and get the kill on the Ember Spirit, but Dark Margot will not even die. You do not have buybacks. The creeps are inside your bias. Margot will TP in after buyback, and KP, he is gone with a quick remnant to rejoin the boys. And that will be all she wrote here in our second game. Boom will come out on top.
Minos just died death to imps. This Warlock Shard is pretty insane. Every time you channel your upheaval, every 2 seconds, an imp comes out. And there was just like a brigade of imps that just like suicided onto Minos and blew him up. Almost like solo killing him, it felt like. You hit your timing on Slark, but unfortunately, you're just a little too far behind. There's too many items, too many Aegises. Not enough time here for Leviathan, as I think your buybacks are all used up. Potentially you can run back in here with Slark and Tiny, but is that going to be good enough? Not
Storm
quite.
will die and buyback instantly, try and make some space. Tiny up. MNZ up as well. MNZ is just going to jump in aggressively, but he can be still cooldown for a couple seconds. He's trying to poke, still some essence. Picard's going to be able to drag him back with a harpoon. You are buying some time for the respawn, so you're going to be able to do a 4v5. Those Stoichords wanting to try and deal with Matthew like we saw prior. They'll get the kill on the Hoodwink, but Zephyr's not going to live to see the remainder of this fight. Because now you use everything. Boom still have the numbers. They're going to turn to deal with the objectives. Throne exposed. Stoichords really making them work for it. Picard wants out of this game, though. The Abaddon will just turn, beat on the jugular. We will go the distance here in our second series. Is going to be able to perform. A question on this mid lane as well. I feel like we're both going to be looking at mid and how Dark Margo is able to go versus the Stoichkov Ember Spirit.
Yeah, I just know towards the beginning of the patch, people are trying this morph, and his win rate went from being really good to absolutely dog. So maybe there's some new tech that has been figured out with this morphling. I'm going to keep an, yeah, as you mentioned, mid lane and safe lane, I'm going to be watching a lot to see. Just check the progress of how these heroes are doing. Because to me, these are like matchups that have traditionally been good, but I'm just not sure if they're still good.
With the, can you go into a bit more detail with the morphling on why, like, you feel like after the change that the patch this year has been is on that forbidden list for you?
Yeah, the biggest problem with this hero is the fact that your W used to give you stats, right? And now it doesn't. So they just took away a bunch of stats from the hero. So he went from already being a questionable laner to a much worse laner. And so his early game is like very, very sad in my opinion.
KP, got a bit of a brawl going on for the bottom bounty. Looks like KP and Zephyr unable to pick it up, and now KP's in a little bit of danger. I'll chase him down, get some right clicks off, but no real threat of his own life. Are there any cool, like, innate or facets for the morphling? You know, you're saying his lane maybe a bit poopy now with the adaptive strike change, but has he got anything cool that he can kind of work with?
I mean, his facet is literally just, you can be morphling of the last patch, or you can be some strength morphling. Right? You
Okay, cool.
And his innate ability, he levels up every half level instead of every level. Well, he gets half of his stats, right? So when he reaches, you know, level 1.5, he'll get 1 stat. Okay. Or one of his like attributes. So let's say, for example, he gets 3.9 agility per level, right? So he'll get 2 agility at half of level, which, you know, kind of helps a little bit, but it hasn't been super noticeable to me.
Okay. Well, I don't know what's going on in the river, but we got a new lane. It is Stinger and Matthew that are going blow for blow. Stinger's winning this currently, and in fact might be able to get first blood. I guess Matthew's got a Fairy Fire, Stinger's got a Blood Grenade, and he went Liquid Frost. So I don't know if you're seeing Jakiras in your pubs. I have not seen this this hero just yet.
I haven't seen the Liquid Frost yet. Normally I see the Liquid Fire, so. Maybe Pog. Can't wait to see how that works. And it looks like the DK is destroying mid. Alright. He didn't even go for the Worm's Wrath. He actually went for Stun and Breathe Fire. Maybe that's the adaptation you have to make here.
Okay, Stinger Matthew. Stinger having a level advantage already, and apparently a first blood advantage soon to come. Dual breath in a couple of seconds, but Matthew will just get to the safety of the tower.
So like it literally is a 4th lane. It's just like the 2 supports playing versus each other, and then the off lane and carry. double stack pull off there, so that definitely feels nice to have. Bot lane, KP as well, just getting his farm up. But Morph is doing...
This dino set's so ugly. Oh my god, dude. What is this set?
You don't like the abdominal dinosaur?
No. Oh no.
I kind of like it, actually.
Ah, come on, Fear. Why do you like? I've seen some really bad ones. KP, the catch on Tiger. I thought that was going to do a lot more damage. Didn't actually put the second point into Trample, maybe wanting to hold the skill point on Onslaught if he needs it.
Yeah, he's chilling here. We're really trying to
Hello
get
is
this
not.
Dark Lord.
Zephyr's just dying to Fatal Bonds by the looks of it, and because one just...
He wanted it. You know he wanted it.
Yeah, he's not going to get it though, unfortunately. So, all right, first blood's going to be picked up though nonetheless. Tiger will get it, this Warlock once again. And yeah, this is something that we saw, what we were speaking about though in game one, that Warlock, his laning stage is something that can be a bit of a concern. And the fact you find first blood has to make you pretty happy here. He's able to get a stack on the Black Grimoire as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the prowess of the Warlock for his laning. He's really known mainly for his team fighting. So if you can have a good laning stage with this hero, you're definitely just going to be happy every single time. Speaking of laning stage having issues, Sacred this game, we're seeing a night and day difference when he's not on this Pangolier when it comes to the laning stage. He's only sitting at 9 CS here.
Is this something expected though with the heroes? Like if we take a look top, like Brew, Hoodwink versus the Gyrocopter and Jakiro, are you expecting him to have as bad of a game?
I mean, I'm a little surprised because it feels like he was just one-on-one versus Gyro for a while. And they're going to go on Minos, I think, but I don't think you can actually commit there. Maybe not. You know, I'm a little surprised that he's like, because most of the laning stage, he was just one-on-one, right? So Minos must have just had some really good CSing.
See, Sacred, if he's going to be able to catch up or not. Does double braces, so maybe he's at that stage where it might be a bit easier. We do see this is, I mean, the thing with the Gyrocopter, it's just so easy to shove the lane out, so eventually Sacred is going to have a creep wave in front of his tower. Unfortunately, they do have this hard camp available, which is always nice for a Gyrocopter team, so they can constantly get the hard pulls.
Yeah, they keep double stacking that big camp too, just making sure Sacred isn't getting any creeps, really. Well, most of them are just getting denied. Spam pulling on this Jakiro here, denying tons of creeps. And yeah, this mid lane matchup, it's not going well. It's definitely not going well. It's a rough one. But they're going to make rotation.
They're going to try. Argo has ultimate. I don't know if this rotation's actually going to work. Stoikov chains at the last second to be able to hold Dark Margaret down. You do force out the ultimate with low resources on the Dragon Knight, but he can heal back up. And now with the Ember going base, it's a bit of an opportunity. We'll see if Dark Margaret's going to try and hard shove it to get some damage into the tower.
All right, not bad, not bad.
We'll do a nice room. Snipes the illusion. We'll be able to win this. We'll be able to at least stop the spell casting from Tiger, but it looks like Zephyr's going to go down to the damage over time. Stoikov will want to enter the river, but they've got Hoodwink. Matthew's just waiting idly by, but KP's going to charge in. That was the X factor. KP's rotation comes through with the Primal Beast, feeling like he had to get active here with his hero. He gets a big kill onto Dark Margaret. Importantly, giving Stoikov a free wave here, and maybe the next one as well to catch up.
That's really big. And unlike the last game with the Slark last pick that was good for the game, having a laning stage on this Morphling completely free farming, absolutely dominating this bot lane with the Warlock here. And that's got to be a concern. This is a hero that, without a doubt, was nerfed in the laning stage, but still dominating his lane. And if you ever do, like this one-on-one matchup, right? Gyo versus Morphling, it's pretty unplayable. So it's very sad to see that he's in a situation where he's already playing against this Morph who's going to be free farming Tyre. Luckily for Minos, he's still free farming, but the concern does come to If they are ever isolated in one-on-one with even network, it's not going to be pretty. Okay. And Stoikov's getting... He's coming back, you know? Like, the lane was a little bit rough, but he's getting some key kills here.
It was a good... Yeah, no. Dark Michael just going to keep chasing. Okay, that's a big one charge.
Oh, they're shooting
Again,
KP,
mass TPs. And now he's kind of stuck. He's able to dance through the bramble maze. KP might just go for the kill into the warlock instead. They're going to be able to stop the pulverize quickly. Because is here. What's going on? What's happened in the mid lane? Everyone wants to fight. What's Stinger doing? Stinger just walked up, face checked the high ground. Margaret's like, guys, it's a free kill. Come back. What's Jakiro doing? It's illegal.
Because is he gonna take that? He's thinking about it. Nah, they're gonna give it on over to Dark Mago.
Is MNZ just gonna get it? Okay. What, dude? Alright, we're in store for a very interesting game. MNZ just solo kill Sacred, doing some crazy stuff there. So close to level 6, unfortunately not enough experience.
Yeah, I mean that's a level 5 brew versus a level 7 gyrocopter with 4 points in rocket barrage and your ultimate. So probably just got rocketed and chased down there. And luckily for Leviatan, the one lane that is going really well for you is going to be Minos. And I'd like to see him get somewhat active in this game, because if it's just a farm fest, it's going to be a little concerning for Minos. They're going to have to find a way to slow down this Morphling's farm. Maybe making a rotation into his lane with a gate as a gyro will be the right play here. I hope he does. I mean,
so is that kind of how you play into this matchup on the gyrocopter? Like, because you're saying late game Morphling is going to be favored, so you want to see the gyrocopter using that early spell damage to be active in the game where the Morphling can't?
Yeah, I think you want to go to Morph's lane and just kind of like push him out, because at this stage of the game, Morphlings generally don't skill their ultimate.
Stoikov? Nice stun from Dark Margaret. They're going to have to damage though. Stoikov doesn't get a long distance with the Remnant, and they're going to be able to continue to chase him down. I think miss. Oh, man, you know it would be his game if he got a high ground miss like that. That's how someone could potentially re-enter off the back of a rough lane, but unfortunately not fortunate for him. Big movement you were hoping for, because nice waveform, dodges the stun, tries to onslaught it straight into the bramble maze. 2 TPs down, they're going to do whatever they can to protect him. Tiger's got the rock and the fatal bonds, and they need to reset. You cannot continue to dive. It would be too devastating for Leviathan to take this team fight into the Warlock spells, so they will respect that and at least be somewhat happy to get these reactions out, but you do not get the kill because that is the most important thing.
Yeah, I mean, you did bait out the rock, so you could technically just go again, right, with no rock. That's something to definitely consider. But you are only level 4 on Zephyr, as he is getting chased by a hasted DK, but he's back. Definitely a concern. How does it do a level? I guess Jakiro's doing good, but Zephyr on this Dark Willow. We saw in the last couple of games, he was the guy you went to make a play. But to make plays, you need levels. Not much you can do here as a level 4 Dark Willow. Actually just helped the Dark Willow get some potential kills in the Ancient camp.
Come on, do it, Zephyr. You know you want to. You see how low that creep is. Just take the creep. Okay, you got it.
The dragons too. You deserve it.
Stoikov's doing some crazy stuff up top.
He's been doing that all game.
I kind of like how he's playing. You know, he's playing this fine line. Is again, you're recovered. Yes, he's like quite a way behind the Dragon Knight, but he's still sitting in a pretty good position where he's going to have a competitive game now on the Ember Spirit. And yeah, I've been very impressed overall kind of with his play so far. I think his Storm Spirit last game, even the loss, I think he had pretty solid showing, and this is probably one of your more less experienced plays for Leviathan, and is potentially set up for a good game here.
Blink Dagger is online for the Dragon Knight. Instant smoke. They'd really love to kill Minos here, but any kill into tower would be sufficient.
This thing is gonna tank the gank, reveal the blink. And they'll probably try and transition this into the top tower. We'll see if they even need that. And yeah, it's gonna be forced to come up. So tower's gonna go down. We'll see what the response and what Leviathan can get out of the map though. He farms the big stack, the Ancients. So it's going to be a pretty early scepter for him. Because is still top net worth, and it looks like it's going to be a different story than what we saw with the Slark game, where you were saying that if Slark gets to that stage, then he can be the ultimate carry. It does look like, at least with the trajectory, that Bakaz will have that farm to get Boom over the finish line. Of course, it's going to come down to execution, but he's at least going to be in with a fighting chance.
He's in a good position, yeah. He's in the exact position where he wanted to be in this game after picking this hero. Completely free farming right now, getting into that Manta style. Does have a point in his ultimate as well if he does ever want to. I mean, I think for the early game, you want to beat Ember as much as you can. Just slight chaining people, get that fire shield, flame guard rather, to play with. Makes you a bit tankier. So he'll probably do that, but later on in the game when Gyro has that max flak cannon and you're pretty farmed, you want to turn that Gyro and get that big AoE damage from your Morphing. Because the thing you have to keep in mind about Gyrocopter is his base damage isn't high to make up for the fact that he has an ability to attack everyone on the map. Morph, he's got really high base damage, so his flak is just better than yours.
A scan though for Leviathan. They're actually going to go for their encounter smoke here as well. So I'm going to try and group up and potentially take a fight, because we do have wisdoms in 15 seconds. Or if they stayed on the higher ground, they would have seen Tiger. Tiger's actually going to slip by, so it's like he'll snipe the wisdom. Oh no, I'm surprised they left the area.
Yeah, this is... Maybe they wanted to get this kill very quickly with the blink right now, but they have to catch him before he shifts. Otherwise, this is not a kill. They dropped the ward.
The high ground ward.
I think he'll see this.
They're gonna have...
Yep, he saw it.
And he did. Instant strength morph, and this, not only do you not get the kill, you waste 2 heroes' time, but it's the experience which is the big one. Losing that wisdom rune. Zeph is still only level 6. Dark Margaret with a double damage rune. And now because okay, it looks like Dark Margaret got the kill. I was gonna say because you would try to go for him, but he just got the kill. Injection of gold. Your DK is pretty happy to take that, considering this can without a doubt be a hero that's going to scale depending on the itemization.
Yeah, with that amplified damage. 3 hits and a flame breath was all it took.
They've got a great observer ward as well up on the cliff, so they're going to scout out Leviathan that are starting to set up a formation down bottom to defend the tower. They're going to force the issue. Boom will take the core down, KP with the charge in. He already had a decent amount of strength that they're going to have to damage through it. It looks like they don't at the moment. Leviathan unable to blow up the Morphling. 2 fights are breaking out. Over the right side, Dark Margaret was trying to hold down KP, but they won't continue because Stinger and Tiger are still going at it, holding the upheaval to the last second. Tiger would not let that one go. As a result, he's going to be killed off. Stinger, unfortunate.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Acorn shot snipes him from downtown, and with all the 10 heroes and all the spells that were used, it's just 2 supports that are killed.
That's the tree bounce trick shot for you right there. Making kills possible that were never possible before.
I saw this Warlock. I mean, Tiger, very impressed. I thought they were going to get the tower, but regardless, again, the fact he was able to snipe the Wisdom Rune, really the big one for me is that high ground ward he just placed. You saw the formation, you saw the defense that was about to happen, or hold that because KP will snipe Matthew, but it meant that Bakaz could have the strength morph activated already before they got the jump. So you could take a team fight, trade a 1-for-1. It would have been better if you got the tower, but a really nice setup overall. I'm impressed with what Tiger's doing for Boom.
Yeah, and if at that stage of the game you can do that as a Morphling, it's only going to get easier as the game progresses. It's only going to get easier. He's going to have a Linken's next, which is going to stop the capabilities.
KP might be able to blow him up. Has he got the damage? Oh, he doesn't. So close on KP. That'll reveal a ward at least somewhere in the area. Mid lane.
And there's nothing's connecting.
The damage, Stoikov actually goes down from the combo. Dark Margot and Matthew, it's enough with them.
It is looking like maybe a little bit of frustration. Like they really want to make these connect, because I think once you have this Linken's, right, your capability of going onto this Morphling becomes almost zero. Like, you have the Manta for the chains, and then you have the Lincolns for the pulverize. It's getting super scary for Leviatan here in this game. Sure, it's only a 3k net worth lead, but when you're playing in some Morphling in a game like, oh, he canceled that, but doesn't do damage, so he's able to blink out.
Concerning signs for Leviathan. 3,000 deficit. Really because top net worth. Sacred was also struggling on the Brewmaster. For a while has been lowest net worth out of the cores, but he's okay. They're standing a lot of time to try and kill Bakaz, but 1,500 health they're going to have to go through. Let's see if they got the damage with the Bedlam if KP wants to jump in.
But he's going,
bring
he's
an extra hero. Man, this is crazy.
And he's got 3,000 HP, so I guess you're not messing with him.
Finally, this ward will go down. Tiger's going to get it. So yeah, now these attempts you've been making down bottom are not going to happen. Cards will freely be safe. And they're actually looking to try and infiltrate potentially the triangle. You do have 3 heroes connecting. Meanwhile, over to the right side, Stinger's also getting chased down. They are scouting out M&Z, though, by the looks of it, starting to take a bit of an ancient stack on the far east of the map. Matthew will be able to land the bushwhack with Dark Margaret jumping in. There's going to be another big kill. They even clipped Jakiro off to the other side, so boom. M&Z's not going to go down. Okay, somehow the Gyrocopter's able to live, so slips out of danger.
Yeah, not enough damage there. It's just the Dragonite, and I believe the Hoodwink trying to kill him. Without an additional +1 hero there, Minos is a bit too tanky there, as he does have the Ags. He also has like the Vampire Fangs, helping him heal up a bit. But that is just evading death. We still need to see something more proactive, something more aggressive, because this net worth lead for Boom, it's continuing to grow. And this is definitely not a game where you feel good about, as with Dota players, like, who has the better late game question comes up a lot. And that question would be Boom, or the answer is Boom definitely has the better late game in this one. So you gotta, or you want to make something happen.
They're going to do that. Mid lane, Rock's going to be dropped down. Stoikov in some danger. The Tiger's actually going to be able to stay alive. They're going to instantly go top. KP and Zephyr hand in hand. They've showcased previously they are lacking damage, and you are not killing Dark Margin. Yeah, he's going to be able to blink away. So once again, actually, hold that. Kaz with a haste rune's actually going to run Stoikov down. Atos not going to connect. Might have to use the Terrorize. Zephyr will be able to protect his mid laner. And also TP out.
Feels like just a game of cat and mouse right now. And Leviathan are definitely the mice. Like, they tried hard to make something happen mid. I guess they used the Warlock Golem, but this only truly matters if you do something while it's on cooldown. But I have a feeling that they're not going to. So does it even matter at that point if you used your golem to like save yourself from a death? It doesn't go punished. You got 90 seconds to really think about, is it time to use any window we have? I think they should consider it, because things are not going very smoothly at the current point in time for your roster.
I wonder if in Stinger, are you just gonna
see ya?
Okay. I wonder if it just might already be too late, because again, we're speaking a lot about the Warlock and his team fight. We spoke about the Morphling, but again, like, Sacred on this Brewmaster is now 4th net worth. He's starting to overtake people with the Radiance. He has his Aghanim Shard already online, and they want to actually force a fight with Golem on cooldown, and they feel like they are in a position where they even can still win a 5v5 or 5v4 with no Jakiro at the Roche Pit. So I mean, this is really scary signs for Leviathan.
Yeah, even KP is showing that he's just going to go farm all the way up here. The call is to go hit creeps. I mean, they're doing a pretty good job at hitting the creeps. I will give them that. But unfortunately, in this situation, the real game, I think, is going to begin now. Because Aegis in hand, Lincoln Sphere just freshly delivered. You can do whatever you want on the map right now. And now if you were really thinking about dodging now to get your farm on Leviatan, you have no choice now. It's time to go dodge. Go hit those creeps next 5 minutes. You're not doing anything unless it's like a solo pickoff. Where's Boom going? They want this mid tower? Wonder what the rationale is behind going for mid tower instead of taking bottom there. I think they just want to find a pick here. They're gonna bait Picaz here and try to go on Zephyr.
Jesus.
Freebie.
Need that sharpshooter. Okay. An easy kill. Tower's probably going to go down. Stoikov with some heroes showing away. Able to shut the way. They're actually wanting... Did they re-smoked? So Boom looking to try and enter through the portal. No one is showing or going to continue down this bottom lane.
Yeah, they're playing mind games right now. They're like, hey, we're going to show Picaz mid. And we're just going to run everywhere but mid. And they're going to think that they're behind Picaz. And hopefully we can get a pick on someone else like playing the map. But unfortunately for them, didn't really work out that way.
Mid lane? Oh my god, Picaz might solo kill Stoikov.
Ow.
You got some big morphling issues now apparently. Stinger also dying outside the base with a sharpshooter clipping. Uh-oh.
I mean, that chain ended. Like, I feel like there's no way he should have died there. Maybe he just didn't have a remnant up? That's a big mistake. Either way, because now your high ground, it's going to take some damage.
So half duration of the Elder Dragon form. It's going to take a lot of damage. What's up the glyph? Sacred's here. Will they leave on the respawns?
Costly mistakes here for Leviatan. This is game number 3. This is your last chance. Every mistake that you make is going to pile up against you. And you're running out of chances here.
They've been looking at John. They want to try and take Tiger out, but the freshly completed Orchid forces KP to use the BKB, but it's not a clean initiation. Yes, she'll get the kill. Remember, they still going to be able to take the team fight 4v5, split over to the left side. Sacred's targeting down Zephyr, so the Dark Willow, they'll be able to equalize. Can they get more out of this, though? It's just everyone is Delta splitting away. KP down to the far south of the map. 3 heroes being able to hunt the Primal Beast. And a messy engagement, and really, I believe it was the Orchid that kind of caught him off guard there. Wasn't able to chain control the Warlock. He could get the rock off, and then it was just too messy from there.
He just didn't want to commit the Pulverize to the Warlock, but as a result, yeah, he did get his spells off. And you never ended up casting Pulverize at all in that team fight because you had to BKB. I don't know if that would change the outcome of the fight, as that fight still looked really difficult to win, as there was still Picaz with an Aegis waiting there that you'd eventually have to deal with. It's just starting to get harder and harder to find ways for Leviathan to really take these team fights. It's going to have to be at the back of a really farmed gyrocopter.
Minty will run into Sacred. No split, no rock. This might be an opportunity, but the damage are actually going to be able to blow him up. But now the response. Stoikov is gone, even with committing the BKB. Now MNZ needs to get out. This is not a fight that can be won. KP will assassinate one of the backliners. They want to continue to go for the Primal Beast. Because he's in fighting shape at ages out in 35 seconds, they will respect them. Numbers disadvantage. They're going to retreat back to the high ground.
He's got flat cannon on Picaz here. You got to be a little careful. If you group up. Luckily in that fight, Picaz was not able to hit many people with this flat cannon.
15 seconds till it's out. Sticking nearby, maybe seeing if there's an opportunity. Have they got a vision of him for the TP? Is dude just out of range on the very edge of the wood.
He'll be fine. Aegis goes down. But all things considering, not a bad fight for Leviathan. You do kill the Hoodwink, you do kill the Brewmaster, and you only lose one hero as a trade.
AP?
Not bad at all.
Rest of the team's a little bit far away. He's going to continue to run to the left, closer towards Radiant side of the base. Be able to activate, of course, the defense mechanism, but this now puts it on cooldown, lowers the duration, and it's a little bit premature.
This game is starting to feel a little bit like game number 1. Like, how do you deal with the cost? And the answer was in game number 1, just don't. Just don't deal with them. Go kill the throne instead. Maybe we can have an avenue in this game as well where we can do some fancy shenanigans, split pushing, and put them into an uncomfortable position where you can take fights away from Pakaz. Because the way I see this game right now, if Pakaz is in any of these fights, you're probably not going to win them. Or at least you're not going to win them by dealing with his hero. You're going to win them by killing everyone else and ignoring him.
Who are those prime heroes then? Like who's at the top of the list
Brew,
that needs
sure.
to... Okay.
I mean, if you get Brew and Warlock before they get their spells off, that is what I would consider an ideal fight. And then just disengage. We really can't fight into this morph right now.
Try and take a head-on fight. Smokers fall. And the Dragonite's a little bit vulnerable at the moment. Like, Margot's able to activate the BKB, and with the stun, it holds MNZ down so they will not chase, and the poker's giving them an advantage here. But maybe Pakaz actually wants to try and answer with an aggressive waveform in the middle of the team fight. MNZ is going to be able to reset. KP will cover the escape, and Sacred even commits the split as well. Leviathan, can they get out with not losing anyone? Zephyr, TP makes it. Stinger also will escape.
Yeah, you just got to turn, tail, and run as soon as Pakaz jumps in there with the flat cannon active. Luckily, they didn't take too much damage from that. The Shadow Realm will help you a lot. Flat cannon and Jakiro, I think he was just hiding behind some trees or something. And good control there from KP to be able to just ult him during his BKB. Good disengage. But yet again, it's not really a fight that looked like they were going to win at all. It was just damage control. They did a very good job reducing the amount of damage they took there. But it didn't really look like at any point in that fight were they going to get some kills. But they're going to go now. BKB's on cooldown for not only the Morphling, but the Gyro too. Can you catch anyone? Doesn't look like it. 1 minute and 29 seconds for Roche.
It's getting to the stage as well where, like, this Dragonite, this is the exact build that I was seeing 7E, TI qualifier mid laner for Team Zero on the Dragonite go for. Sometimes he wasn't even going the Blink Dagger too. He was really big fan of, you know, Hurricane Pike, sometimes some Satanic Daedalus in there, just really this raw right clicker. And we're speaking a lot about the Morphling, but this hero is, he will get to that stage. He is already there. We are seeing he's actually probably taking a little bit more damage in fights than I was expecting, but Dark Margot 6, 1, and 5, he's going to be a late game threat along with everyone else on Boom. And how devastating it would be. Leviathan, you have some big players on this team, people coming from Southeast Asia to try and compete and make it to TI. It's a big deficit to overcome.
And the Condo's now online for Pakaz. He's pretty much hit his critical mass here. Of course, he can still get stronger, but this is like ideal. You got your defensive items, you got your Condo, you got your BKB. He is incredibly powerful now.
See, smoke pops. They get a glimpse of the Hoodwink. Not a bad hero to be able to block to stop the fight, but the Ember Spirit have got the damage for Stoikov. Stoikov in some trouble. He's able to get the Remnant over to the left side. Importantly, Split was activated. So all the ultimates will go off for Boom without being killed. And it looks like Leviathan, they don't get anything out of it. Weren't able to get some of these important heroes. Stoikov is continuing to be chased down. Pakaz able to assassinate KP. Meanwhile, I think Stoikov is going to live. Will attempt the TP. Dark Margot very close to be able to get him over the other side of the tree line. But once again, another fight will go Boom's way. And this game continuing to slip slowly out of Leviathan's grasp.
It's just on repeat, you know? Like, if you ever get this Morphling replicating the Gyrocopter, everyone just has to run. That's it. Like, and now you have an Aegis on top of it. Like, I feel like your only path to victory here is either you completely ignore the Morphling or you all in the Morphling. But how do you all in the Morphling? Like, you can't even use BKB Pulverize to lock him down. A, it's hard because he has Lincolns, and B, Warlock will always be there to interrupt it with the Rock if he wants to. He didn't even use Rock that fight. It is ready and available as they're going to go to top lane. This man has no BKB. Do you have the damage to kill him? I think that's
it looks like... Oh, the mechanism maybe?
Okay.
They're starting to combo and Radiant, 2 heroes at the moment, but all of a sudden with Bakaz nearby, it's going to be an all-out brawl. You'll get the kill into the Dragon Knight. Bakaz going to be able to waveform, find another. As they do a good job at keeping MNZ alive and also shutting down Dark Margot's Dragon Knight.
Dude, that, like, Jakiro with the mech and the Solar Crest 100% saved his life there. Minos would have definitely died. He would have ticked out from that little bit of damage incoming there from the Soul Burn of the Orchid. So as a result, they get a nice little kill on the DK there. It's not a lot, but it's something. It's a start. Need a couple more of those.
We got the kill. So closing on Satanic. See if do you buy out for Satanic, you think, or you hold buyback?
It's a tough call. It's definitely a really tough call. I think, honestly, buyback is probably better just because you're in a situation where they might high ground. Okay, again, I guess more time that they can wait for the heroes to respawn. It never gets old, right? The Tormentor, just even in these pro games, just takes the life of many.
Yeah, like you said, the important that's just time. 30 seconds now where you don't have the full 5-man, wasting valuable seconds of the ages. Zephyr's gonna have to terrorize and run away. And Dark Margot got a glimpse of MNZ, looking to try and stab Zephyr. Not a bad TP location, in fact.
He did buy it on the Satanic too for Minos Gyrocopter. That is going to be available for him.
Is this like how you would expect his full slotted gyrocopter to look, with the last item being a butterfly?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is pretty standard. Morph is a hero that really does not enjoy buying MKB. You want to get all the stat items. He's going to be going for the Scotty next, which is going to reduce the healing of that, but your base, as of now, is taking lots of damage. They're going.
He would jump in.
One life.
Got him by the...
What?
No? How? What? How did he get out from the silence? What?
He just didn't want to ult him. Alright. I guess it's a hard kill regardless because he has picked up the shard on the Morphling too. So even if you do get ulted by the Primal, you can shift while you're stunned. So that definitely helps.
I don't know why. I thought he got silenced as well in that fight. But
Man, they don't have any silences. Yeah.
How is he silenced? I don't know what I'm seeing.
He's tripping.
Okay. Well, alright, so you lose the range barracks. And you've got a minute left on the Aegis. We'll see if they're going to... what the call is going to be from Boom. Where they want to try and position their forces at the moment. They're starting to kind of clump up towards this right side of the map, and the Kaz is ready to knock on the high ground once again. I have to come back. Small thing, it deals a lot of damage in quick succession.
He do that, don't he? And the banner
as well now. Hit KP. Nice man to dodge. Bakaz avoids the stun, and our KP's in a lot of danger. We'll need to use the BKB. Maybe. Okay. Holds it at the last second. Bakaz with an aggressive waveform in the middle. If they got the damage, Bakaz able to play around with the attribute shift, standing his ground to man fight. They'll kill the first light, but you committed a lot, and if you've got anything left, Sacred's gonna try and charge up with the split and run into the middle. They're doing everything they can to get Bakaz out of this game, but it's just not possible.
I mean, Bakaz is fully strength morphed after that, so he's not doing any damage now. You probably need to back.
Nice push.
Oh, but the Hoodwink is just solo killing heroes. Okay. Nice.
The golems go. The golems. The Cardi with the banner still. There's so much crap on the ground.
And that's a dub
Sacred
there.
vulnerable. We'll give him the Lincolns. Of course, split or cooldown.
Oh, this hoodwink again.
Are they going to be... Dude, another pushback on the backline. Matthew. This hero we are just seeing so far in the qualifiers do so much work in uppercards. Onto MNC. There goes his gyrocopter. They're going to be able to target him down. KP to the rescue. Trying to cover the president. MZC, can he get out? The damage over time, it's almost enough. MNC will somehow live on a slither of health, but KP, he will not escape. This is a dino without a buyback. This is a base about to be destroyed. And maybe the hopes as well of Leviathan to continue their run here in the qualifiers.
He may have helped the president get out, but he would have still lost everything here.
Stepped up forward. Can he activate the Satanic in the BKB, but he's got no one really to play with. MND. Yeah, you're back up to full. What can you do afterwards, though? A 3v5, a Terrorize flies across the stream, but it's just not gonna matter. You've got too many issues to deal with this game. He's got a buyback. Zeph is gone. 2v5 now.
Not a lot you can do here. Maybe this Jakiro on the respawn can do something here, but this is their final lifeline here at the TI qualifiers.
And it's
gonna
gone.
play it out, but you know deep down inside, this game is over.
Boom. They will knock out Leviathan in honestly pretty convincing fashion in all three games. This team looked dominant. Game one was a crazy end, but unfortunately for Leviathan, these are players that we have seen have a lot of success on the main stage or at LAN, but unfortunately for them, it's just another year. For KP, Zephyr trying to go to a different region. A couple of TIs now, KP in particular, 2 TIs.